guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. What's going on? Our favorite case, right? Best coverage, Guilty of Crime, Jennifer Soto. What does Maddie's mom know? We know Maddie's mom is Jennifer Soto. We're also going to listen to the math teacher. I'll do the audio today, but I also have an awesome clip, or it's a news coverage from Orlando. And the cool thing about the news coverage from Orlando, it's local. And so this is the way that they see Jennifer Soto and how it's going to be imprinted onto those local people. Now, many of you that are local in Florida say Jennifer Soto's another Casey Anthony, and I'm so glad because she's not arrested, right? She's not arrested, and since she's not arrested, we want to leave a big fat imprint on the internet about Jennifer Soto. Also, something else special for you. You know, I like our boy Gish, and our boy Gish just held us over with a couple minutes worth of Madeline Soto content. So many of you guys probably saw that. You probably saw the sweatshirt that he did. Now I'm trying to grasp what it all means. And Gish, love Gish, but when I get into Grish's mind, I'm going to tell you what I think about Grish's mind and how he thinks. So first thing I think is hallucinogens. That's the one thing. So if you open up your mind real big and you have some hallucinogens, I can definitely see the way he thinks. I'm gonna have to get down in his brain sometime. We're gonna have to have him blasted with a mask and come on here. So welcome everybody, welcome. I'm glad you haven't seen it because that's the first clip I'm gonna play today. It came out and I said, I saw everybody said, "Hey Jay, Guilty of Crime, check this out." So we're gonna show love to Gish. We're gonna play his 2-minute and 44-second video, and then I'm going to tell you hallucinogens, baby. I don't know if that's the way he thinks. I'm an artist as well, but he has this mind-opening experience on his channel when he does videos. So, Allie Kelly, good to see you. You're so very welcome. I hope you guys watched my video yesterday with Jasmine, and I always forget Jasmine Pace. The trial's running today, so welcome. Thank you, Snee. I gifted 5 Guilty of Crime memberships before you guys even came on here. So please do me a favor, you guys. We need more members to keep the channel going. The lowest tier is $2.99. If you can get yourself a membership, that'd be fantastic. If you can gift memberships, we just talked about that before the show. That's what helps me run the website, the channel, all the clips you guys see, all the videos. That helps tremendously. So thank you guys so very much. And yes, the video is short but very impactful. We're going to go over that. Welcome, 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 welcome. Some of you guys I haven't seen in a while. Welcome, Life Artist. It's been a while. And welcome. And there you go. I just shared 5 Guilty of Crime memberships with you. If you guys have the means, please get yourself one. Donate if you can. Let's get into the first clip with Mr. Gish. It's called Madeline Soto's Black Hoodie. And when I first saw it, I said, I don't get it because there was no black hoodie. What? She had a green hoodie, you guys. That doesn't even make sense. But it's not about that hoodie. It's about the hoodie that was found in the backpack. And every time I see Grish's videos, I can totally step outside of my head and see what he's thinking. But hallucinogens would definitely help me. Like I said, I'm gonna have to pick his brain there. So let's watch this together in the entirety, and then after we watch it, I'll stop and tell you what I think, because it really doesn't have anything to do with the case particularly, but it does if you opened up your mind, folks. And you guys are in that era of opening up your mind, right? We know what the 70s had in store for everybody. So let's get going. What's up, Yesenia? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a supporter. And yes, MM and Jen's a Gypsy, you got it. Let's do this. I'll be quiet now.
Spooning for what? What is snuggling to you? Because to me, snuggling is spooning. Big spoon, little spoon.
He would lay down like this, and she would be right here in the nook.
While I've been working on part 3 of my series on Madeline Soto, I was scrolling through the evidence photos from the dumpster. That's where I saw this black hoodie. This hoodie is size small, and it's of very low quality. The print is even worse. It looks like an iron-on print. But keep in mind that this hoodie was put in a dumpster and compacted with other trash, and it has almost no debris on it, and it's laying almost perfectly flat. That's because it's brand new. At the very most, it's been tried on, but it hasn't been worn yet. I know this because in real life, I'm a graphic designer and I do screen printing. This hoodie was folded neatly and placed inside Maddie's backpack before being thrown in the dumpster. But why would Stephan throw this hoodie in the dumpster? Let's take a closer look. The bottom of the design is black, and being that the hoodie is the same color, the ink from the print makes that reflection. In order to avoid that, you would just remove the black from the design. Now, being that it wasn't removed, it was more obvious to me that this was a cheap homemade iron-on print. But why was it so important for Stephan to throw away this brand new hoodie? Let's look at the design. If you were to just glance at this, it would look like an adult male about to dunk a basketball. Now, I'm going to sharpen the image. I'm going to now vectorize it so I can highlight the part I want you to see. Now, you see that? That's a blonde child attempting to block a grown man from dunking on them. Within the context of this case, who and what do you think that symbolizes? When I return the vector image back to its original format, you cannot unsee this. The reason Stephan Sterns threw that hoodie in the dumpster is the same reason everything else got thrown into the dumpster.
He would lay down like this, and she would be right here in the nook.
You feel like you're on acid yet, folks? What about shrooms? How do you feel about that? All right. I love Grish's interpretation. Life imitates art far more than art imitates life. Now, I went through that and I played that, and it is creepy to me. It is creepy. My internet's spinning a little bit, you guys. And I actually was in slow motion. I was doing that on purpose. So I don't know why I'm in slow motion right now. I hope it picks back up. All right. If it's skipping, I apologize. Yeah, isn't that creepy, you guys? It's very creepy, and I want to go into my interpretation. Yeah, LJ, it feels like I'm tripping. It feels like somebody slipped me something, and I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna play it again, Krista. I am gonna play it again. Let's go, but I'm gonna stop it. All right, no bad trip. No, it's like a mushroom trip. Like, oh wait, I never said I did that, but if I did take mushrooms, it would be at the peak of the mushroom trip when you have an epiphany. All right, I just did that to creep you guys out. Let's start this over. It's creepy though, and I think he was getting rid of evidence that he was wearing That's what I really think it is.
But just like
She's got her own blanket. He's got-
Come on, why is the internet doing this? Not only is that doing that now, but hold on, you guys. I apologize. Now it's not even playing. That's how it
For
tripped
what?
out.
What is snuggling to you? Because to me, snuggling is spooning. Big spoon, little spoon.
He would lay down like this and she would be right here in the nook.
While I've been working on part 3 of my series on Madeline Soto, I was scrolling through the evidence photos from the dumpster. That's where I saw this black hoodie. This hoodie is size.
All right, so I'm gonna pause it for a second. Yeah, I have no, Bree. I do not need new internet. I do not need a new internet fund. I actually have the fastest internet out there, and I pay a pretty penny for it. So I don't think it's my internet. It could be the weather, it could be the storms or Comcast, but let's not put that in the fund. I need a new roof fund eventually, and I need a new house, but I don't need a new internet. So I think it literally is I think it's just Comcast today. All right. Thank you, Bogart, for being a membership for 2 months. And yeah, this is creepy to me. I really do think that he got rid of this because of the DNA that was left on it. Let's start back since the internet is doing this. Hold on. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but I think it is.
What is snuggling to you? Because to me, snuggling is spooning. Big spoon, little spoon.
He would lay down like this and she would be right here in the nook.
While I've been working on part 3 of my series on Madeline Soto, I was scrolling through the evidence photos from the dumpster. That's where I saw this black hoodie. This hoodie is size small and it's a very low quality. The print.
And I never would have caught that, you guys. I never would have caught that. But I'm going to tell you something. First of all, that is creepy how Gish connected it to Madeline laying in the nook. That doesn't seem like how you would lay with your kids. And definitely it's not a stepfather thing, which he was not a stepfather. So yeah, in my perception, I think this cheap hoodie was probably a hoodie that Jennifer Soto bought for Stephan Sterns as a birthday present. We saw many pictures that go back that show things on the couch. Like Stephan would have a birthday, right? And there'd be these little characters. And I recall seeing one of those birthday pictures with characters and characters with like a t-shirt, or maybe it was a hoodie. But yes, so I'm going to tell you, the first thing I'm going to tell you right now is love Gish. I was a graphic designer for 10 years. I owned a company called Twisted Images Art, and that's what I did for 10 years. I made logos and I made websites. So I'm all into the vectored art and into seeing things for trippy the way they are. Also do the same thing with tattoos, right? So I'm looking at this hoodie and I can picture it in my mind. I'm visual. This has to be a birthday present from Jennifer Soto. It doesn't look small. Young girls like to wear big hoodies. So what I'm thinking is it's not a small. I'm thinking it was the size of Stephan Sterns when he got down to his lowest weight. And Jen Soto had it made for him. She had this cheap ass basketball hoodie made for him. And that does look creepy. The print. It's a hoodie. It was in the backpack.
Is even
We
worse.
never noticed
it. Looks like an iron-on print. But keep in mind that this hoodie was put in a dumpster and compacted with other trash, and it has almost no debris on it, and it's laying almost perfectly flat. That's because it's brand new. At the very most, it's been tried on, but it hasn't been worn yet. I know this because in real life, I'm a graphic designer and I do screen printing. This hoodie was folded neatly and placed inside Maddie's backpack before being thrown in the dumpster.
Right, and that was definitely a good call. I did not see that. I did not see that particular hoodie in there in the evidence, but I do recall. You know that, huh? Foxy Amazon J Twisted Images. Yes, ma'am. Twisted Images Inc. was my tattoo name, and Twisted Images. I owned that for years. I owned it for years. So yeah, graphic designer. I have my degree in graphic design, and I am a tattoo artist. Haven't done it in a while, but I got my setup. Now, check this out. That is like a district. It's one of the district tees that they have in LA. A lot of LA companies sell the cheaper, thinner hoodies, and then someone will screen print on it. It's not quite a screen print, it's more like an overlay with heat. So I think that may have been a birthday gift from Jen Soto, a cheap ass hoodie, and Maddie stuck in her backpack that day, or Stephan was wearing it at the time. He had just put it on and he realized, oh shit, I'm going to get evidence on it. All right, let's keep going. I just want to relate this to the case. I know Gish is effing amazing in what he does. But if I ate some mushrooms and got to the peak of my high, that's what I would see right there is what he's saying. So watch out. Yeah, it looks like a DFT transfer. Absolutely. And I think it would be a present from Soto, Jen Soto, with all his other junk that she bought him. Check it out.
But why would Stephan throw this hoodie in the dumpster? Let's take a closer look. The bottom of the design is black, and being that the hoodie is the same color, the ink from the print makes that reflection. In order to avoid that, you would just remove the black from the design. Now, being that it wasn't removed, it was more obvious to me that this was a cheap homemade iron-on print. Well, why was it so important for Stephan to throw away this brand new hoodie? Let's look at the design. If you were to just glance at this, it would look like an adult male about.
All right, so it's hard to tell what it is before until he turned it around and did that with it. It's a basketball guy. It's somebody dunking a basketball with like smoke in the background, or just like this puff of smoke with the. It's just a cool like design that somebody made, and I think it was probably Stephan Sterns. I'm going to tell you right now, he's the kind of guy that probably watches basketball here and there, or maybe he thought he did, whatever. Jay, did you do the bunny with the bong? No, I did not do the bunny with the bong. No, I did not. Okay, so I remember seeing some presents on the couch, and I feel like Jen Soto wouldn't really know Stephan Sterns that well. She would know him, but she wouldn't. She'd know he likes video games and shit, but she'd get something like that for his birthday. So that's what that is. If you don't understand, it's a dude dunking, but Gish took it to a whole new level. Yes, it's like a generic Jordan, right? He's doing a layup. I don't know if that's a layup. It looks like a dunk. Like he's slam dunking and there's smoke coming off of it, all right? So just imagine that, and then now take a look at what Gish is seeing in his mind, and I understand that. Okay, MM, I'm not going to argue with you. A layup shot. I am not a basketball person. Yeah. And you can see me as a tattoo artist. Well, very nice, Alicia. I appreciate that because I am one. All right. I appreciate that. Let's keep watching.
To dunk a basketball. Now, I'm going to sharpen the image. I'm going to now vectorize it so I can highlight the part I want you to see. Now, you see that? That's a blonde child attempting to block a grown man from dunking on them.
That's
Within the context of this case, who and what do you think that symbolizes? When I return the vector image back to its original format, you cannot unsee this. The reason Stephan Sterns threw that hoodie in the dumpster is this.
Yet Stephan is not a sports guy. Exactly. He's not a sports guy. He's just one of those guys that passes. Oh, yeah. That's why that's not a sports. That is not a sports team at all. It's just some guy dunking the ball, and it looks like some generic hoodie that Jen would have bought for him. Like, oh, here's your birthday present. But what we're talking about is life imitating art. We're not actually talking about the case, and I have to talk about the case because that's what I talk about. So what I'm thinking is that black hoodie was something that Stephan wore, and it got DNA or evidence, some kind of evidence, and so he threw it away. He didn't even wear it. You can see that it's black, it's not washed. Now, I don't think he's a sports guy at all, but I think that Jen was like, oh, this is cute for my man. Let me get him this with his little toys. Somebody bought that hoodie, and I don't think that it was a hoodie for Madeline with a guy dunking a ball, you guys. Just saying. Jen was very into childish things and not particularly a team. This was somebody's hoodie in that house, you guys. All right, let's talk about what Gish is real quick.
Same reason everything else got thrown into the dumpster.
No.
He would lay down like this and she would be right here
in the mouth.
All right, so that's really cool how he superimposed it. But Kim, that's incorrect. Maddie was not wearing a black hoodie, and I also wanted to let you guys know because I got confused for one iota of a second, thinking it was the hoodie she was wearing. She was not wearing a black hoodie. She was wearing a green hoodie and blue jeans. You guys, I saw the picture of her DEAD, that sheriff or whatever deputy sheriff, not even sheriff, just the sheriff. The sheriff that got in trouble posted a picture of Maddie, not alive anymore, and she was wearing a green, like a brighter green hoodie with jeans. So she did not wear that. That had nothing to do with Maddie and the evidence. What it probably had to do with was the evidence that he had on him, cross contamination, DNA, because he never even wore it, but it went in that backpack. What Gish is talking about is two very separate things. But from an artistic point of view, look at that. Look at her arm and showing in the nook, and then look at what he's showing. That's all he's really showing. Just a fascinating perspective on it. It has nothing to really do with evidence in the case. Did they find her in the jeans, Jay? Yes, they did. They found her in blue jeans and a green hoodie. And the color green she was wearing is the color green that you guys are in the crime crew. When you become a crew member, there's this green that's like a forest green, kind of. That's what she was wearing. That's what she was wearing, a forest green hoodie and blue jeans. I saw her in the picture, and you couldn't see her face, but you could see a DEAD body. Yes, Maddie was wearing jeans and a green sweatshirt, not a black one. But the hoodie is factually connected to the case because it was found in the backpack, you guys. I think you guys missed that whole thing. Let me just do it one more time because I think all of you guys, whoever's not here, I'm sorry, you'll have to go back. Let's watch this one more time.
But just like
She's got her own blanket.
spooning for what? What is snuggling to you? Because to me, snuggling, spooning, big spoon, little spoon.
He would lay down like this, and she would be right here in the nook.
While I've been working on part 3 of my series on Madeline Soto, I was scrolling through the evidence photos from the dumpster. That's where I saw this black hoodie. This hoodie is size small, and it's of very low quality. The print is even worse. It looks like an iron-on print. But keep
Maybe
in
it
mind
was
that this hoodie
Maddie's.
was put in a dumpster and compacted with other trash, and it has almost no debris on it, and it's laying almost perfectly flat. That's because it's brand new. At the very most, it's been tried on, but it hasn't been worn yet. I know this because in real life, I'm a graphic designer and I do screen printing. This hoodie was folded neatly and placed inside Maddie's backpack before being thrown in the dumpster.
All right, so you could see Maddie's backpacks right here with the paint that was all over it. And this is a district shirt, which they in fact use for screen printing. Now that I'm looking at it again, and I heard this third time, it's a small. I think she probably got that for her birthday, you guys. So yes, this is connected. This is a black hoodie, cheap print, and it hadn't been worn yet, but it may have been worn and there may have been evidence on it. Now, I want to tell you, Veronica, you got a potato down there, but you're also a crime crew member. We have real emoji potatoes in chat now. I just added about 20 new emojis for you crime crew folks. So get in there and don't put those. I don't want fake potatoes, Veronica. I want a real down home freaking Idaho evil potato. Right? Yes, there you go. Perfect. I don't want those fake potatoes. We got real emojis up in here. All right, so that's what it has to do with the case. Let's finish this. It's Grish's art imitating life.
But why would Stephan throw this hoodie in the dumpster? Let's take a closer look. The bottom of the design is black, and being that the hoodie is the same color, the ink from the print makes that reflection. In order to avoid that, you would just remove the black from the design. Now, being that it wasn't removed, it was more obvious to me that this was a cheap homemade iron-on print. Well, why was it so important for Stephan to throw away this brand new hoodie? Let's look at the design. If you were to just glance at this, it would look like an adult male about to dunk a basketball. Now, I'm going to sharpen the image. I'm going to now vectorize it so I can highlight the part I want you to see. Now you see that? That's a blonde child attempting to block a grown man from dunking on them. Within the context of this case, who and what do you think that symbolizes? When I return the vector image back to its original format, you cannot unsee this. The reason Stephan Sterns threw that hoodie in the dumpster is the same reason everything else got thrown into the dumpster.
He would lay down like this and she would be right here in the nut.
Bam. You see that? That's the final note. So life imitating art, imitating life. Thank you so much, Farah Aranchi, for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you. And some people don't see it, Juliana. Some people don't see it. And some people, like I said, you got to get those goggles on. You got to get those psychedelic goggles in order to see it. Some people don't do, don't do the psychedelics, but I'm 45 years old. I didn't say in my 20s I never tried any psychedelics. So yeah, that's that. Dang it. My new emojis aren't coming on the TV screen. I can't see them. No. And it's not even slam dunking. It's a layup. Is that what we called it? Okay. Yeah. So gross armpits, hands down to Gish. Go over there. Go subscribe to him. All that stuff. All right. We're going to get into our real topic today. This was a bonus for us. Life imitates art more than art imitates life. All right, go subscribe to Gish. He's the man, you guys. He's the man. He comes up with some really cool, crazy things. All right, and now we're gonna talk about Christy. Give me the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys. Get your memberships if you don't have them. We're gonna do a members only real freaking soon. I did one today. You guys can go over there and watch it. It was just me talking some stuff. Needed to get things off my chest, and I said, hey, why not come over there and talk to the crime crew? So I was very surprised at this Take 6 news break, and they're talking about what Jennifer Soto knows. All right, so we're going over this today. I was really surprised when I saw this that it only had 390. Look at how many views it has. It only has 490 views. And it's talking about as detectives were searching for missing 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Now, this is a local Orlando 6 news station. So it's documenting what Jennifer Soto did during the times that they were searching for, what she didn't do, and how she's going to look to Orlando and Florida. So for those people that were living under a rock and completely missed it, guess what? This is going to be there forever and a day. It talks about the relationship that she formed between her, and they got it right, old former boyfriend Stephan Sterns and young daughter. She says, I've always told Sterns that my biggest fear is that it would turn into a Woody Allen situation. The child turns 18 and end up running away, explains Jennifer Soto. Very interesting that they documented that, and that's what we're going to talk about for part of today, and then we're going to go over the audio. I love that they did this, and I love that this is going to haunt Jen Soto forever. I hope she gets arrested, but she's sure not going to want to live with this, right? Augustina Hermosillo had the day off, was binging guilty of crime shorts and past cases. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. There's some good shorts in there, Augustina. I've got some of them that are hitting close to 20K, and I'm like, how did that happen? So, yes, I'd like to cover all of those shorts if I had more hours in the day. What's up, Petty Mason? I didn't even see you today. Yes, arrest Jen Soto now. All right, you guys. Now, I don't know where Millie is. Millie was here earlier. She's the Florida person. This is News 6 Orlando. It came out with this news I don't even know what you call it. What is it? Just a news video on their station. And I love that they're exposing Jennifer Soto. Yes, it's shedding more light on what Jen really did, and it's gonna freaking haunt her forever. Let's get into it. Why did only 490 people see this? Alicia, you gotta have a membership, girl. If you have a membership, that's the only way it lets you get those news brief. Okay, news briefs. I love it. Let's go. You gotta have a membership to get your potatoes. All right.
12:30. I'm Julie Broughton. This is Take 6. We're so happy you're spending a little bit of time with us this afternoon for your afternoon news update. One of our big stories has been the cool temperatures that have been hanging around for us for several days. I will tell you, we have a brief warm-up on the way. It will only stick around a day or so. We'll talk more about that for you coming up in just a few minutes with a check of your 7-day forecast.
But we want to talk about Jennifer Soto.
The body of 13-year-old Madeline Soto was found near St. Cloud. Since then, her mom's boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, has been arrested, but he has pleaded not guilty to murdering and molesting the teen. As he awaits trial, News 6 has been taking you giving you an in-depth look at that investigation through a video series called Justice for Madeline that's available on clickOvermedia.com and on our YouTube page.
And what I did for you guys is I put this together I did all 6 in one, and then I did 1 and 2. So that you want to go back on mine and watch the commentary with the Guilty of Crime crew. I did 1 through 6 in the last episode, and then I did the first ones with a little bit additional information in it. So I did put those together. You can also go and watch 1 through 6. That's now available. Yeah, not even Puerto Rico wants her. Alizita, that is an insult. I'm Spanish and Puerto Rican. I want nothing to do with Jen Soto. I don't know why anyone from Puerto Rico would want her. Jamila, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I love the love. Just don't send me a letter telling me you're firing me. Just don't tell me. All right, let's go, lady.
Mike DeForest with the 6th and final installment of his series, Justice for Madeline. And we do want to warn you, some of what you will hear is disturbing.
It's all disturbing. Take 6, baby. Bum, bum, bum.
Jennifer Soto arrives at the Orange County Sheriff's Office for another round of questioning, 4 days after her daughter Madeline vanished, and 2 days after her boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, was arrested for sexually molesting the teen.
You want me to go through the whole timeline?
Yeah, we'll start with Sunday. Take you through Sunday.
By that point, Jennifer Soto had been questioned by detectives at least 7 separate times. Her story remained mostly the same each time she told it, but detectives say they noted several inconsistencies as they sought justice for Madeline.
White Crocs. White Crocs. Blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts?
Yeah.
Black shorts? Okay.
On the night Soto...
Okay, can you guys hear it now? I turned it as loud as it can go, folks. I got a couple people saying they can't hear it, but interesting. Let me turn it up some more. I don't know how else I can turn it up any higher. It sounds loud to me. All right, let's see. So,
reported her daughter missing, the mother wrote out this statement for police. It says around 8 a.m. she saw Madeline getting ready for school. Soto swore the statement was true, but in later police interviews, Soto said she never actually saw her daughter that morning.
I was handed this form, and I'm like, where do I start? What do I write? And somebody said, tell them what you saw. And so I started with, I saw. And then I wrote out what I wrote out. But it wasn't until later I was like, wait, I didn't see her. I assumed that I saw her. I assumed that I heard her, but I didn't.
Soto now insists she last saw Madeline the prior evening as the...
All right, if you guys get mad at me, I'm going to try to whisper on my end. I'll try to keep my voice down since I turned it all the way up. All right, so if I blow out somebody's earphones or ears, don't come for me, okay? Please don't come at me and get mad. Sabrina Ham, thank you for the Guilty of Crime membership. Show some love to the potatoes. And thank you guys so very much. Love you guys. Love the support. And thank you for not hating me, not being a hate monger.
13-year-old went upstairs to sleep in the same bedroom with Sterns.
So the living situation with them, I'll be honest, seems weird. It's weird to me.
Detectives questioned Soto about how she, Madeline, and Sterns would occasionally sleep in the same bed together.
Did you ever wake up and find them cuddling? Did you ever wake up and find them closer than you thought they should be?
They would snuggle, yeah.
Okay.
But we all snuggle. I didn't think that was a problem.
Okay. So they would snuggle, sometimes him being in his boxers. He would wake up and she'd be in the nook of his arm, essentially in a cuddling position. And you never found that weird?
No.
Okay.
Soto told investigators she originally did not feel comfortable with Madeline spending the night alone with Sterns.
I had a rule. She wasn't allowed to sleep in his bedroom at all.
But over time, Soto says that.
Now remember how they're documenting these folks, and welcome my missing piece, Jack. They're documenting this for all of Orlando to see. It's our local news station, but for some reason only 490 people saw it. So I'm like, why? We want to share the crap out of this. We want everybody local, and I didn't notice that either. When did she say that? This is the 20th time I've heard this, and she said in his boxers too. So the officers were already really uncomfortable with the situation of how Maddie, and if you guys went back and watched my roommate interview, it was nothing for the roommate to walk in there and just see Maddie in the middle, Stephan and Jen on one side, and constantly sleeping together. So yeah, those boxers that we saw in the laundry, those were his typical boxers, you guys, and those are Hanes boxers. My son wears those, and those don't hold anything, you guys. Those are flappy boxers. They flap in the wind. The flap opens like this much. It's huge, and it doesn't hold anything back. So that is very disgusting. I can't even believe she's sitting there and saying that. Oh, man. All right, let's go. And then the locks, you guys, the locks.
And I kept telling her, no. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that. But eventually, at some point, like we really want to watch. I forgot what movie it was. They really wanted to watch something, and I was really tired. And I said, okay, fine, go ahead, but this can't happen often. And yeah, I allowed her to go upstairs and sleep with him.
During a police interview the previous day, Soto made reference to a famous filmmaker who is married to the daughter of his former girlfriend.
I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation.
Now they're going to document this for the rest of her ever-loving life, you guys, and I love it. I love it. What's up? They're going to do that forever and ever and ever. And I hope that this plays again, and I really do hope that Grimace, now she looks like Grimace right there, folks. She really does look like Grimace, but I really do hope that if she doesn't get arrested and she becomes a Wendy Adelson, where she's going to court after court after court, that she becomes so haggard and wore down that everywhere she goes, this haunts her, because that's the only thing that I could wish on her other than being arrested. Did he ever? No, I think she drug herself, TP. I don't think anyone had to do that. Yeah, Mia Farrow Soto. All right, let's keep going. I just want that to forever haunt her, what she said right there.
Where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child, and the child then turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him that was my biggest fear, and I don't ever want that happening. You can't do that to me.
Why would you say that to him?
Because I never trusted. I grew up being told never trust a man.
A few days earlier, detectives let Soto see a photograph that reportedly showed Sterns sexually abusing her daughter on the teen's bed.
When you guys showed me the picture of her, I believed the sexual stuff, but I didn't want to believe that he.
And remember that what they just showed you guys, that was the bed that looked like it was part of a brothel. That was the bed that you walk up to and you get massages, and then you pay someone $40 to whack you off and then leave. They found pictures of Stephan abusing Maddie in that room, you guys. And that room was in the middle of the open floor in the bedroom. After attending the Casey Anthony trial, I have no confidence whatsoever that Raggedy Ann will be charged. Well, Hurricane, if Raggedy Ann isn't charged, I want this to haunt her forever because she did this to her daughter, and I hope she knows that. All right, Alex has given us a John 3:16. Thank you. And Jeep Zahara says Jen contradicts by trying to say makes sense to this detective. She is a very crappy liar, but she's getting away with it, and there's no hard evidence so far. But just remember, Maddie was abused in the middle of that upstairs, and nobody did anything about it. I never trust a man. I let my 2-year-old daughter sleep with a grown man. Make that make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't.
He had done anything evil to her. I'm like, no, what if he did this stuff fine, but what if she's still missing out there? What if somebody took her?
What you just said is the sex stuff is fine.
It's not fine.
After seeing the explicit photo, Soto says she told Sterns' father to hire an attorney for Sterns.
So he showed you photos of Stephan raping.
No.
First thought you had is to ask his father if he should get a lawyer.
Yes, he's done this to her, and that's
What?
not okay. But I swore I felt in my body she was still alive. She was still out there. I told Chris to get him a lawyer because I felt like you guys were chasing the wrong person. But you weren't. You're not.
We showed you a picture. Whether she wants to do it or not, that is not consensual. And you prioritized him again. You prioritized him by offering him or telling his dad to get him a lawyer. Not what the did he do? Not, hey, we need to figure out.
I'm kind of glad they redacted it a bit with him cussing and the words they're using, but Jen didn't have a knowledge of the pictures because she only pretended to see the picture when the officer showed her, you guys. That's the only time she saw it. Now, I do need to get a new computer, I think, you guys, but it's okay for now. We can get through the stream. We do not need new internet. Let's keep going. I'm feeling like it's been bad today. No tears, you guys. And it almost seems like, not almost, now I'm convinced that she knew what was going on with Stephan and Maddie. Not only did she let them do that, but I think she was jealous of them while it was happening. And she let all that go. And right now we're seeing it come out like, okay, if it happened, but he didn't take her life. I think she had more to do with that too. And that's why I keep popping up with these videos. How involved is Jen Soto? Real Pocahontas, good to see you. I can't respond. Yeah, none of us can.
That would happen. No, let's protect Stephan.
I wasn't shocked.
No, that's not shock. That is your natural instinct to protect Stephan.
I don't care about him. I want him to go to jail. I want the worst thing possible to happen to him in jail. I know what happens to predators in jail. Like, I'm ready for that. Like, please. I don't give a fuck about him. I'm not protecting him.
Detectives repeatedly asked Soto where Madeline's body might be hidden.
If I knew anything, I promise you, I would tell you. Like, I am willing to take a lie detector test, whatever the fuck you want, but I don't know anything. He's never mentioned anything. I've never seen any signs. I tried watching her like a hawk. I thought I was doing a good job, but I wasn't.
And how can we believe some of the stuff that you're telling us, or believe that you don't know?
I don't know how to say it. I mean, I guess I'm stupid and gullible and very
I guess I'm stupid and gullible and very trustworthy. You guys. All right, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and if you have the means to get a membership, gift a membership, or any of the above, we're gonna start a fund, and I'm gonna pay for it, of course, with all of the money that I'm swimming in from Guilty of Crime, apparently, to get a new computer. So I'm using a laptop right now to stream. And smack me in the face for using a laptop. I'm not supposed to use a laptop to stream. I'm supposed to use a computer, you guys. So I think I'm going to get a new computer and knock your socks off. If I get a new computer, you guys better be here to watch every single one of my episodes at all times. Just kidding. Love you guys. All right. JPL's going to need another bong hit for this one. All right, y'all. At least hit the like button. That's free. Help a sister out, okay? Thank you. Love you guys.
Trustworthy, but I didn't think he'd be the type to do anything like this.
During this nearly 3-hour interrogation, Soto provided no details that would help authorities locate Madeline.
People get found. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not quick. I hope in this situation it's today, tomorrow, Sunday, but we will find him.
Just 45 minutes or so after detectives escorted Soto out of the sheriff's office, deputies in Osceola County found Madeline's body. But even though the missing teen had finally been located, investigators still had questions for her mom. During one final interview at the state attorney's office the following month, Jennifer Soto was given a form of immunity whereby nothing she said could be used.
Remember, right now they're documenting this, so everybody locally, this is one of the biggest stories of probably their lifetime, you guys. And love you too, Kimmy. But I think I should be out there reporting like that guy does. What do you think? Let's replace that guy and put Jay from Guilty of Crime out there. What do you think? You guys think I can do the news? What do you think? If you think I could be out there doing the news, hit 333 in chat and we can say a prayer for Maddie, okay? I think I could run circles around that guy and tell you guys all day long what the news is. And you'd get to see me all day too. Yes. Justice for Madeline Soto, you guys. Thank you. 333. I'll take all the 333s that I can get. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. No, Serge. The family's never done anything publicly. They've never looked for Maddie publicly. They did a private viewing of the funeral, and then they did. Thank you, guys, for all the 333s. I'll take that. I'll pop them up there while I'm listening to this. I'm going to take your job, dude. I'm coming for you, man.
Against her. The mother insisted she knew nothing about how her daughter died. Jennifer Soto has not been charged with any crime.
Yeah, I'm in.
Stay with News 6 and clickorlando.com as prosecutors seek justice for Madeline.
Boom, 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 boom.
That was News 6 investigator Mike DeForest reporting in his series Justice for Madeline, the very latest installment in that. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back after the break in about 2 minutes, Mike will be with us to talk more about this.
Oh, man. Choo choo. Thank you so very much. And we're still going. We can fast forward. Luckily, they've got some Daytona Beach cam going on there. All right, we're back. And Ashley, thank you so much for the 1999 super chat. Help a deserving sister out. Choo choo. And I actually am going to start a fund right very now with that. And that we're going to start a fund. And I am going to get me a badass computer to pop in right here. You guys saw my behind the scenes earlier. I'm going to take this laptop out and just put a super fast computer hooked up to my monitor and then knock all your socks off. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you. All right. Yeah, I am. And I'm very grateful for you guys helping me. I'm not swimming in $100 bills like some people think, but I do pay the bills so that I can be here. So thank you. I promise I'll keep my money very humble. All right, guys. Yes, Shauna, good to see you. I'm coming for her job, too. I'm going to sit behind her.
It is 12:41. Welcome back to Take 6. I'm Julie Broughton. Before the break, we showed you the very latest installment in our in-depth series, Justice for Madeline. That's where News 6 investigator Mike DeForest gives you an in-depth look into the investigation into the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Mike is joining us now. And Mike, this is something that the community has been so emotionally connected to this tragedy. So first of all, incredible journalism in this series, taking people in and showing them the process of this investigation. But I know you have gotten a lot of response online to people with questions about different aspects of this case, especially when it comes to Madeline's mother.
Well, and this latest episode here that you just showed, Julie, really focuses in on law enforcement's initial concern and suspicion of Madeline Soto's mother, Jennifer. Again, to make clear, as we did in the story, Jennifer Soto has not been charged with any crimes. But from the get-go in this investigation, law enforcement, even without knowing anything about her, that is law enforcement's first inclination, is to question and be suspicious of the people closest to a missing child. It's they always start with the parents or the caregivers first.
That's why we have to show this news station some love. They have 500,000 followers on this news station, and I really want to show you guys this because many people didn't see it. And yeah, if there's no pool of $100 bills, then I'm not going to start my channel, Kim says. There are no pools with $100 bills in it, I'll tell you right now, or I'd have all the gel for my hair. I might need to start a gel fund for my hair, right? And a razor fund and a haircut fund. Love you guys. All right. Love this guy, Mike. I don't want his job, but I want to work with him. Good to see you, Lori. Get yourself some green. You would look good in it. All right. Thanks, Mike DeForest.
And then widen their net. So that is natural before they even conduct the first interview. That's who law enforcement is going to focus on. And so initially, when Madeline Soto was reported missing, they looked at Madeline's mother and the mother's on-again, off-again boyfriend, Stephan Sterns. And Sterns definitely gave law enforcement what they described as misleading and contradicting information that they were highly suspicious of him. But detectives were also very suspicious of the mother. As you heard the detectives describe, one of the things that troubled them most is what the detective called a weird living situation, where Jennifer Soto acknowledging that the night before Madeline disappeared, she allowed her 13-year-old daughter to go upstairs and sleep in a separate bedroom with her 30-something-year-old kind of estranged boyfriend. And as we heard in that interview just now, that Jennifer Soto at one point expressed concern about what she called the Woody Allen situation. She kind of botched the Woody Allen analogy, but in essence, Jennifer Soto.
She definitely really didn't botch it, you guys. She really told us what she was thinking and how she was feeling over the time that she was dating Stephan, the times they broke up and the times they were together. And you guys have to be wondering, what did they break up for all those many times? What was happening between them? What issues caused Stephan Sterns and Jen Soto to break up and then get back together? Like, what conversations were there behind the scenes? Brenda P, thank you. Good to see you back. I'm back with the crew. And Jay, welcome. And you're part of the crime crew. You're behind the scenes official crime crew. So thank you for being here. Yes, this is definitely birthday gift for Maddie. Was coded image. Interesting. Yeah, she didn't botch anything, dude. She said it like it was. She nailed it perfectly, and I'm pretty sure that's what many arguments were about. She knew it was going on, and they talked about it sometimes, but I don't think they talked about it often enough. But she knew, guys. Let's go, Mike.
I am worried that when my daughter turns 18 years old, she's going to run off with you, Stephan Sterns. And obviously that raised alarm for law enforcement, because then, of course, Jennifer Soto allowed her, despite those concerns, allowed her daughter to continue to spend nights, occasionally, she says, with Sterns.
And that sounds bad alone. I let my daughter spend nights occasionally. I don't know who Bertha Seraphine is. I don't know if it's like one of the 877 Swiss Miss or one of you folks, but Bertha Seraphine just sent me a $50 cash app. So thank you. Thank you, guys. It doesn't cost that much to get a new computer. I don't even need a monitor. So thank you, guys. I appreciate that. You know I'm a Leo, and Leos get what Leos want, and Leos do it fast. So I can have a new computer by this weekend, you guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep going. And we're gonna do some little emojis with our horoscopes in them too at some point.
Sterns, and most significantly, the night before Madeline Soto vanished.
And, Jennifer Soto says in that interview, you hear her saying, that she thought she was protecting Madeline. She obviously didn't do a very good job. She's obviously just gullible and didn't make great decisions. And I know a lot of people have been reacting to these videos online asking why she hasn't faced any sort of charges.
We cannot answer that question. All I can tell you is that I have posed that question to the state attorney, who would ultimately be the one to either file those charges or seek a grand jury. And the state attorney will say that at this point, at last time I checked with them, which has been a little while, they said at that point, the evidence that the state attorney has only is, I don't want to botch the words here, but basically the evidence they have is adequate for what they believe is to prosecute Stephan Sterns for sexually abusing and murdering Madeline Soto. They say at this point that is the only evidence they have that they can pursue a prosecution on.
And in the close of your story that we just watched, you mentioned an immunity agreement that Jennifer Soto signed. Explain more about that and what exactly that means.
She during the course of the missing child investigation, from when Madeline was first reported missing until even after her body was found, detectives called Jennifer Soto in several times. And what we find usually is detectives will ask the same questions over and over, and each time have you walk through the story.
I'm going to stop this for 1 second and tell you guys that one of the ladies on this News 6 News Now, and I don't know her name, one of the blonde lady that originally did one of the first interviews with Jen Soto. Do you remember in the infamous video where Stephan's behind her cracking knuckles and the lady's trying to get Jen to talk about Maddie and say her name? She called into the officers, you guys. She called into law enforcement and said, something's not right with this mother, you guys. You need to look at her and the boyfriend. Something's not right. So I'm always going to hail her a hero in my book because she saw something and she did something. Or she saw something and she see something, say something. I say see something and do something. Don't just say something. Make sure it goes all the way through. And she did that. So these news people are trained, you guys. They're trained to listen to people and take their information. But if it's a crime, they know kind of what to ask, what to look for. And she did that. And I appreciate that. I love you guys with all the Leo power. Leos in the house. Lots of Leos in the house. Here. All right. When Jennifer was sucking at him. So yeah, you remember the back? All right. Avis, you're on January 30th. My mom's birthday is in 6 days. My mom is an Aquarius, which is the opposite of a Leo. Who called? We have real potatoes in here, Malibu. Put your real potatoes down there. Libras in the house. All right.
And I think the general consensus is if you are telling the truth, you're always going to tell that story the same. If you're not, then sometimes details may vary because you won't remember what you said 5 days ago during an interview. And I can say, watching all these together, most of the details that Jennifer Soto described to detectives were consistent, but there were what detectives say inconsistencies. We pointed out the fact that she had originally said that she saw Madeline the morning of the disappearance and then changed her story. Said, no, I didn't see her that morning. I was mistaken. Anyways, after all of these individual interviews, detectives clearly still had some concerns, not just about Jennifer Soto herself, but more importantly, she is going to be one of the key witnesses against Stephan Sterns when he goes to trial. Now, he has pleaded not guilty. He faces the death penalty if he's convicted of murdering Madeline.
And yes, we're talking about Stephan Sterns, and we're talking about the trial that is not going to happen on the dates, guys. You know, it's scheduled. We've got hearings coming up, and I never remember them unless someone reminds me. So we got one in September 2025, and we've got another one in February, I believe. Again, it's not right in front of me, so you guys feel free to put them in the chat. Those are going to be, they're supposed to be pre-trial hearings, but remember, he's looking at the death penalty, you guys. And if anybody knows about the death penalty, it's this guy that's reporting on the news. He reports on crimes that happen, and he knows that if you want to get the death penalty, go to Florida and commit a crime as horrendous as the one Stephan Sterns did. Shout out to Maritza Romano for catching a live. And thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Love you back. All right, let's keep going. Yes, we're talking about the trials now. Are they going to go be live? I'm sure they're going to be live, but I don't think the trial's going to happen just yet. And I wonder if they're going to stream that trial with the heavy evidence that they have, you guys. There's going to be dead pictures of a body. We're going to say there's going to be pictures of Maddie sitting in that front seat with her mouth open. There's going to be crime scene photos, you guys. There's going to be a lot of things. If everyone sent $10, we can do it. You know what? I appreciate you guys. And actually, yeah, we can do it. By the end of the week, I can have a new computer. So choo choo. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. All I need is the computer part. I've got a screen and I've got the whole setup. So just need one little part of the computer. Go over to Best Buy, pop the computer in, and get this party started. All right. Spinster. Good evening, Jay, mods, and chat. Hope everyone's doing well. Much love to California. Thank you so much. Yes, I am so glad it's Florida, because if this were another state, we might be in trouble. Yeah, delicate evidence and the CSAM stuff, you guys. CSAM is not going to be taken lightly. All right. Right now, the stuff with Diddy is controversial. I wanted to report on that today, but I'm doing this. All right, let's keep going.
Soto and
Mike,
one of the key witnesses is going to be Jennifer Soto at his trial, assuming one happens. And so they really needed to vet her. And so finally, after law enforcement had really kind of completed their questioning of her, they pulled her into yet more questioning with the state attorney's office. And during this state attorney interview, they gave her a form of immunity whereby nothing she said, nothing that came out of her mouth, could be used against her to criminally prosecute her. Now, they made very clear to her in that interview, we may learn something outside of what you tell us that we can use to prosecute you, but nothing you say can be used against you.
And I think Brenda, I think we've come to that realization with the phone calls that we've heard from jail, that he's probably going to use that as part of his um, it's not an alibi. I can't even think of that. He's probably going to say that Jen was involved in it. We've heard him saying that he didn't do it alone. It wasn't just him. He didn't make it happen. He didn't want Maddie dead. I shouldn't have said that. The love letter to Maddie is saying, hey, I didn't want you gone. I had no reason. I had no motive to want you gone. And yeah, you're absolutely right, you guys. Florida don't play. And I'm not going to talk anything about that, Carlette, until we hear something back. Yeah, the defense. I'm sorry, my brain got all mushed up. His defense is probably going to have to do with Jen Soto, and she is a witness already. So the defense, that will help him get off of death row, you guys. It absolutely will. And good to see you, Boston Chica. You're late, but better late than never. Prayers for Maddie and those potential jurors. You know, that trial that's happening today, that the suitcase trial with the girl stuffed in it, that jury is sequestered, you guys. The girl was in a suitcase, stuffed in there, stabbed 60 times. That jury's not going anywhere. So I have a feeling with a case like this, we might have another sequestering as well. All right, let's keep going.
And it appears that the part of the reason they may have done that was just because they needed to be able to have as frank of a conversation as they felt they could with this key witness in Stephan Sterns' prosecution. And during that interview, again, I'm not a lawyer, but my takeaway was, even when given this immunity, even when having the ability to change her story again and perhaps say something incriminating about herself, Jennifer Soto never said anything that indicated she knew how Madeline died, or she continued to insist she did not know anything about the alleged sexual abuse that was happening between
But she did say stuff that made it seem like she knew, you guys. She guessed. She guessed how she died. She said, was she strangled? Was she, don't tell me she was in the back of the trunk while Stephan was here. And then she talked about 192 until she was blue in the face. Yeah, there was a lot of cryptic things, Maritza. A lot of cryptic things, but I don't know how they see that. There were so many things. Yeah, it would be awful to be on a sequestered jury, depending on how long it took. And she did mention the Gators. She implicated herself many times, but they don't have hard evidence, or they would have arrested her, you guys.
Stephan Sterns to Madeline. So even with given this limited immunity that nothing she said could be used against her, in that interview, based on my personal observation, it didn't look like she said anything that would have had she not had that immunity, led to criminal charges, at least in that one particular interview.
All right. And your entire series is on clickorlando.com and on our YouTube page, right?
It's a 6-part video series. Again, this just gave us the opportunity to really go in depth as we've been pouring through these hours and hours of police interviews like the one you just saw, thousands of pages of court records. I think a lot of Central Floridians were invested in this story when Madeline first disappeared, and of course heartbroken when they learned she was found dead. But now we can really look to see how law enforcement pieced this together, and now the evidence that prosecutors will have as they head into trial to try to win a murder conviction against Stephan Sterns.
All right, Mike, like I said, it's just incredible journalism. I can't imagine the hours and how hard you worked putting this together. And it really does tell.
Guess what, folks? We know how hard it is to put this stuff together and how many hours. Hold on. One sec. All right, 1 second. I was trying to get the audio for you for the teacher, and it started playing. Hence, we're going to get a new computer soon, you guys. All right. Yeah, I think they did all the data dumps from the computers, and they didn't find anything, or they would arrest her. While you're waiting, hit the like button. We still have a whole other segment, you guys, so don't forget, hit the like button. Let's see what she says here, and then we'll get to our next segment.
Tell the story as you're watching all of it. So I highly recommend if folks haven't watched it to check it out. Just a heartbreaking story. And I know you'll be on News 6 this afternoon talking more about all of this.
Yes.
We'll see you then.
That's
all right,
me.
Mike, thank you so much. Again, you can see full series Justice for Madeline on our YouTube page and on clickorlando.com. It is a 6-part series. All right, turning to your weather now. We saw another.
All right, we're not going to do the weather because we know it's probably bad out there. So we're going to take that down, and we're going to think. And yes, Diamond Girl, my real name is Janine, Jenine. If you guys want to look me up and see my non-criminal past, you can do that right now with Diamond Girl. All right, let's do this because we have not watched this together, you guys. We have not listened to this together. I will think. The docket, thank you, Mr. Docket. We could have gotten information somewhere else, but we're streaming it from the docket because I like the images that he used. Vaney says, "Do you think the evidence of criminal justice?" No, I don't. If they had that, they would have her arrested. And yes, hit the like button. Guilty of crime, people, please. They do. They're totally, Sandra. They're 110% already going to use Jen Soto as on the witness list, and that's why they gave her the one-time opportunity to tell them what she had to say with her lawyer, because they're gonna get testimony from a known liar. As long as she can fill in the blanks, that's okay, because they can go on the other side and defense can say she's a liar. What do you think? So it goes both ways, right? Thank you so much, Nat, for the one guilty of crime membership. Allie Kelly says, "Laughing my ass, Jay. You're sarcastic and enjoy it. Thank you for keeping me awake while I'm working." You're very welcome. My sarcasm is a bit of humor, so I'm glad you find that in the humor. All right. He didn't put an intro. He did just straight up. So if you guys want to listen to this with me, please do. It's the audio from Maddie's math teacher, and I don't understand why nobody caught that. Like, why none of the teachers, nobody caught this. Yes, that's my real name. I knew there was something I loved about you, JPL. Yeah, that's my God-given name by God and my mama. All right, let's go. Let's listen up while we chat.
011313. Do you mind if I get just a little bit closer to you? So thank you. Cool. The phone sometimes doesn't pick everything up. Cool. So, what's your role here?
7th grade. I also teach Eagle Express in the morning tutoring.
Okay. And for how long have you worked here?
This is my 8th year.
Were you a teacher before?
My 9th.
Okay. Sometimes it gets like that, right? How long have you been a teacher for?
My 8th, 9th year. I work for OCPS now well over 15. Okay. I started as a substitute teacher, then I became a physical education para.
Okay.
Left for a year and a half, worked as director over at the Chick-fil-A, then came back as teaching.
Oh, wow. You've had a long and varied career. So in total, what you said, 15 years here at OCPS about. Gotcha. All right. So you teach 7th grade regular. In any of your class periods, do you have a young lady by the name of?
Yes, she's in my 4th period.
Okay, she's.
Okay, that's them redacting it out, and the sound kind of sucks, but remember it's audio from the teacher, the math teacher, and there's a little bit of juice in here, so listen up. I don't know if you've heard this yet, but I figure we want to get all this in.
Right after lunch.
Got it. And about what time is that?
On a regular day, it is 12:38 after the recharge till about 1:30.
Got it. So how is this your first year?
Yes.
Got it. So you've known her for what, 7-ish months now? Okay. And can you, as someone who's known her for about 7 months, can you tell me a little bit about her? Like, describe her to me.
She's very on and off, very quiet, very chatty with some of the girls. I mentioned to Miss McCottom, the specific girl she chatted with. Of course, as a teacher, you separate them.
Yes.
And then you think you're picking on them, but kind of where she would zone out a lot.
Okay.
To where I'd have to redirect, hey, are you taking your notes? Do you need any help?
Gotcha. What's her behavior like?
This last week, prior to her, she was a bit flippant, a bit rolling the eyes.
Okay.
And normally she's just really quiet, reserved.
You know what's interesting, you guys? Well, first of all, the audio is pretty terrible. But yeah, the detective's voice seems nice and everything. The teacher, I think, put more time into thinking about Maddie, etc., but probably didn't get the response from Jen that she would like. Because most teachers, if a parent will listen, they're going to talk, right? And it seems like she maybe sent some notes home or did some things to get together with Jen, and Jen must have ignored them, you guys, because I know that my teachers that I've had, not mine, but my kids' teachers, will give you as much as you'll take. And most of them anyway. If you're going to take them saying whatever, they're going to try to correct that. And Jen, I don't think, was too connected with Matt. I think she's very disconnected, probably barely signed notes or whatever. But it's interesting that she says Maddie was rolling her eyes, but normally she's not like that, because you remember her friend saying that she was really like crabby on her birthday. I wonder what was going on with her. I wonder if it was the meds that she was. Yeah, that's a huge red flag, Layla. All right, hit the like button and we'll chat right now so we can get through this. I have to pick up my daughter soon.
Keeping to herself. But she seemed to get a little bit of an attitude. But not, she wouldn't disrespect me. Just, you get the students that roll their eyes and it's like, okay. You're not liking me moving you here, that's okay, I get that.
Was there anything in particular that was like, I guess, agitating her that you can remember?
She didn't seem agitated unless you spoke to her directly, or if I reminded her you need to be taking your notes or stuff like that.
So normal stuff. It's just this last week, she's been responding.
Correct.
Just different, with more attitude. Is that, I guess it's not common of her from the way you're describing.
No, she's normally quiet. Like I said, she's normally quiet. She zones out to where you're having to redirect her.
But she's normally like more receptive to just direction or redirection rather.
No.
Okay.
I even made a comment to Miss Rivera, and Miss Rivera would look, we're going, because I have Miss Rivera, she's the co-teacher for the ESC students in that class.
Okay. So she is in a special education program, correct?
They're integrated. The regular classroom. So yeah, we have like split classes to where half the students are ESC, the other half are just regular students.
Okay. Is she diagnosed with like a learning disability, or does she have trouble? I guess
She does have a what is it called? An IEP, I think.
Gotcha. And is that just for is her mental capacity that of normal, or is that just more a learning?
No, I've noticed aside from her being quiet or zoning out and stuff like that. No.
Okay. She's just typical. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
I guess, is there anything that you have noticed in the past few weeks or months that would have led to a change in her behavior this past week that you can think of?
I've been racking my brain on that, thinking,
Well, that's fine if not.
Aside from this past week, I mean, to where she was more attitude, I guess, but no. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, was she quiet because something was happening, or,
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the reason that we wanted to come out and talk, is just because you all have seen her more than we have. You know more about her than we do.
She interacts with other students. Like I said, the girls go together and do their little talks and whatnot.
Have you ever seen her act in a way that you would describe as, I guess I know she's normally quiet, but would you describe that as like sad or depressed or anxious, or is there any negative emotion that you would associate with the way she acts?
On a couple of occasions, she would request to go to the counselor.
Okay.
She was sad.
Gotcha. How often was that?
Not a huge amount of times. I mean, maybe in the time that I've had her 3-4 times to where if I would redirect or whatnot, she would shut down and get upset. And
I still can't get a gauge on Maddie. I can't. The best gauge I was ever able to get on Maddie was with the roommate that lived with Jen Soto before the documented abuse. I'm listening to them talk about an IEP plan, but that doesn't mean that your child is special needs. Now, they also asked, is she special? Does she have like educational issues or special education? And when I hear the word special education, I think maybe a learning disability, you're not able to keep up. So it's hard to tell what they're saying about that. But the roommate did say that Maddie was just like a normal young girl. She communicated like other children. The only weird thing was her being withdrawn, but that didn't happen according to the roommate. The abuse hadn't happened yet. So I don't know if it happened and wasn't documented. But my daughter's on an IEP plan, and that girl will outsmart the whole room and then some. She's on an IEP plan because she has ADHD. And she's like her mama. She's like me. It's like, oh, I gotta do this. I'm the DJ of YouTube. Let me lower it, change that, do this, say hi, press this, smoke. Like, so I don't know what I know. It's an individual education plan, but I'm not understanding if she was having learning problems. And I think her learning problems and her behavior problems all stemmed from her being abused. That's what I'm saying. I think it was all of it. I think she was a normal little beautiful young girl that was being terribly abused, and her problems were all that because she just started out like a normal little girl. Oh, my Best Buy's throwing up hints, you guys. Best Buy just threw me a hint and said a new laptop. I mean, a new Mac. I don't use Macs, by the way. I am a personal computer girl. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, I think all problems stemmed from her abuse, you guys. I agree with you what you're saying 1000%. I don't know how nobody saw that, and I think they didn't take the time to see it because Jen was uninterested. Teachers will give you what they give you, and Ashley, that roommate, said she didn't have autism. She said that she wasn't like, she didn't see any autistic traits, didn't see any learning anything in the way that Jen and Stephan portrayed her. It makes me so angry, you guys. There's nothing wrong with being autistic, but when your child's not and you put it out there like that for everybody to see, it makes me angry. I'm sorry. Yeah, my phone is listening to me, man. Dang. It does listen. It's all around us, guys.
I would ask her, do you need to go see the counselor? And she said yes.
Did she ever say like what she was upset about at that point in time, or?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. So as far as your observations of her daily behavior, if I'm understanding you right, it doesn't sound as though you would describe anything that she did as particularly sad or depressed, other than the times that she said she was upset and she wanted to go see the counselor. And when she did, she didn't necessarily give a reason. It was just not feeling great. But that was less than 5 times in the past 7 months. Okay.
And I don't think it was in the recent, I'm trying to think. I think that was prior to the holiday break.
So not even all that recently. How are her grades in your class?
Currently she's failing.
Okay.
She's not turning in work.
Okay.
All right, this makes me angry too, you guys. This math teacher just said she's failing. She's not turning in any work. That shows that Jen is a failure as a mother right off the get-go. And I'm sorry, if your child is failing like that, you shouldn't be sitting there worried about your piece of shit boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever. No shade on the parents, but I know that if Reese's teacher comes to me and says she's not turning in homework or she's failing, there's a problem, a huge problem. All you have to do is write your damn name on a piece of paper and add a couple things just to not fail. I'm so angry, Gemini. This makes me so angry. All right, let's keep going because I got to get through this, but it makes me so angry that Jen is such a failure and she's just sitting there soaking up the whatever bit of sun is in Florida, hiding behind her family while we're talking about Maddie here. And we want justice for Maddie. I don't know where are you, Jen? Where are you? She refers to the teacher in the present tense. Interesting. Yeah, because she probably doesn't think of it any other way. Wow. Didn't even think about that.
Classwork that she does in class, she doesn't turn it in. And it's typical for a lot of the students, like, hey, you got to turn in your work. Okay, we've got 2 weeks left in the quarter, and then they start pushing them in. But
Has she always been that way since starting your class, or is that more of a recent shift?
More of a, she's doing it more than what she used to do it.
Okay. And has that been like a gradually progressive, she's turning in less and less and less? Or has there been like a definitive shift of, she was doing okay and then all of a sudden she wasn't?
She's been like borderline to where I'm not sure if it's because of the IP or not, but if I give her a test, I'd have to redirect her. You need to focus on your test. It takes a lot longer than typical 7th grade student to do that. But recently she's not been turning in anything.
And has she ever expressed wanting to hurt anyone else or hurt herself? Or I know you would have reported it, if she had said something, but has she ever said anything that indicated to you that that's something she thinks about? Harming anyone else or harming herself?
Oh, no. She's never verbally said anything.
And does she argue with the other students at all?
No.
Okay. Sounds like a pretty easygoing kid for the most part, to be honest. Let's see what else I've got here. I guess in the times that you have had her, have you ever seen anything that's made you concerned for anything happening at home with either anyone else?
No, nothing aside from, just a quiet student.
Okay. But she's never talked about home life being uncomfortable or
not to me.
expressed or acted in any way that would indicate to you she was being abused or harmed?
All right, you guys, I see many people going off to do other things. We had 350 people in chat at one point. We have 306 in chat. If you like the way that I present true crime and you like the true crime that I present, please hit the like button. Help us out, and let's help this channel grow. Let's get to 50,000 this year, okay? See, all you got to do is share with your friends, family, and community of people that do like true crime. And I promise I listen to you guys. You guys tell me about cases. I'll pick them up in between the caseload that I do have. And I might not get to them right away, but I do get to them. Ask Miss Mary. Ask Emma McClure. She got me onto the Zolox, and I took that one. And I think I did that case some justice, you guys. Good to see you, Avis. I'm glad you're still here. Now, Lotus Spider, I do want to say this. It's much different than you were at school. It's much different than when I was at school. It's much different than when my son was at school. My son's 25. My daughter's 10 years old. It's so much different than when my son went. But I got to tell you, teachers will give you as much as you'll take. In my case, I'm a go-getter Leo mama. Like, you're going to give my daughter attention, and you're going to give me the attention by telling me what she's doing. So I demand that attention, and I wouldn't accept, 90% of the class is failing. No, you're not going to fail. What can we do for you not to fail? There are resources. You just got to be a good parent. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you that, Lotus Spider. I'm just on my high horse right now about education and about school. And they'll give you as much as you will take. Because if they don't, then you go to the principal. If that doesn't work, you go to the board, go to the education board, and you go talk above them. That's what I do. Anyway, so, sorry. 50,000, baby. Let's get it. Yeah, people do need to be proactive. And she was not. She's still not. She just sits there like a lazy ass potato. We're supposed to do that as parents.
Have you ever had any
I'm trying to think. Maybe at one of the IT meetings. I've had so many of them. So,
yeah, I bet.
Not three talking points. I know they can to do makeup tests, makeup work, or whatnot.
Sure.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's about it. Nothing one-on-one.
It doesn't sound like anything stands out as far as conversations.
No, it's just typical conversations with parents.
Gotcha.
Love the app talking point. It goes straight to it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure before talking point, you remember PTA.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
And not only that, just emails. Like respond to the email. But
cool.
No, just back and forth. Hey, they're missing this. It's coming to the end of the quarter. Other than that, nothing.
Okay.
Did text or send a talking point message Monday evening saying, was she in class today?
Mm-hmm.
Responded, no, she was not.
Okay. Before you go today, would you be able to print out any messages that you, if you're able to, and then give them to?
I can do that.
And then them to me before I go.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sorry, I was in a PLC meeting. That's why I'm on computer.
It's okay. I'm sorry to interrupt your day like
No,
this.
it's
I know
okay.
you're
No,
doing a
I
lot.
just- It's heart-wrenching.
Is there anything else important that, as someone who's known her for several months?
It is very heart-wrenching, and it's not a teacher's job to do what the parent does, folks. But I bet you after hearing this case and hearing the details that she's going to hear, this teacher's going to hear for a long, long time. I hope that she looks into those red flags a bit deeper. I can't imagine being a teacher, you guys. I can imagine being a parent because I've been a parent to 2 children, and no, I didn't even lend them my uterus, folks. I didn't have my babies like that. I didn't give birth to my babies at all. I'm not their blood, but I am their mom. And my son's a beautiful, gorgeous young man that's smart and got a great head on his shoulders. And my daughter will be the same way because that's what you do. That's how you direct them. It doesn't matter if you had them or you didn't have them. It doesn't matter if they're your blood or they're not your blood. You still do the same. And that's what I do. So it doesn't matter whether you have them or whether you're blood related. That's how you treat kids and people in general. If someone else doesn't want their kid and they want to send them over to jail from guilty of crime, my daughter would love to have a brother or sister. But that's what you're supposed to do. That's just like our basic human. That's what we're supposed to do as a human, you guys. That's why we're all here and on the same team. No, I never in a million years think that, I don't think I'm less of a mom at all. I never would think that. Even if someone told me that, I don't believe it.
That will help me or help us.
The only thing I have are our math books.
Okay.
That she takes her notes in. That's about it.
Okay. Would you mind giving those to
I could give them
and so that way I can take a look through them?
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I don't have any other questions for you. Do you have any for me while we're okay? I'm gonna go ahead and send this. 1405 hours.
All right, we got through that. That was one of the not so easy ones to get through, by the way. That bothers me when the sounds like that. But I am like the DJ of YouTube, you guys. That's how I feel with my headphones on and doing the volume, checking the stuff. All right, we made it through another episode of What Does Maddie's Mom Know? Jennifer Soto. And then we listened to the math teacher. We got the audio anyway, so we're documenting everything. We're going to be able to go back on this later on and be able to really know about this case in the future, and hopefully we're able to get justice. And as Arabella, good to see you. Good to hear those kind of comments, because those are the kind of people that I want here on the crime crew. Jody, it's always good to see you. You guys, if you just popped in and you didn't hear about the new emojis, check out some of the new emojis. If you're a member, you can see them. Amazon says, I forget which case I was watching. Cops interviewing a teenager and says, do you know what a trap house is? See Jen Soto's residence. That I agree. Probably all our teachers will be. Yeah, there are some other I thought there were other teacher interviews. I'm not really sure, but a lot of them didn't have much context to them. They didn't seem to know anything. The red flags went right past them, and it's not their job. I wouldn't blame anybody else. What's up, big girl for life? Good to see you. Good to see all of you today. No, I didn't want to do that, Vanessa. I didn't want to use my eggs because it was just such a daunting process. I could have used my eggs, but I didn't need to. My wife is very fertile. We went to CaliforniaCryobank.com, ordered some sperm, took it to Kaiser. Kaiser put it in, and bam, 2 beautiful babies. So yeah, I didn't need to do that daunting task. Ugh. I did look into that though, and it would have hurt. The chief of multitasking, right? The COMT. All right, we love fertile myrtles, right? We love fertile myrtles that take care of their babies, Kim Watts. We love fertile myrtles that take care of their babies. My thing just started playing right now. That was funny. All right. A sperm Amazon. They basically do. It's not even California Cryobank anymore, guys. It's just called Cryobank, and you can go on there and get that. Ali Kelly says, I love the way you explain things. All right, y'all. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. If you came in late, please go back, watch, like, subscribe, and do me a favor, go check out some of my other cases. All right, I do want you to see how I present true crime and how I take a case from start to finish, or I do multiple parts. I'd like to get your feedback. So if you're watching my stuff and you feel like you want to email me and tell me, how I could do better, or cases you want to see, I really would appreciate that. Night, Melissa. Melissa, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here this whole time. You're one of the day ones. Inez Murray, thank you for the 333. Yeah, you guys love you, Janine, Misty said. Yeah, go to guiltyofcrimeby@gmail.com and let me know how you like my other cases. I present other cases and I have multiple episodes, so let me know. Let me know. I love you guys too. Thank you so much for being here. Go support our mods. And R Whip says, I have a question. What is your question? You can also email me guiltyofcrimeby@gmail.com, or you can try to ask me here. No, they're yours, Jay. What's mine? Smash that like, baby. Yeah, you guys have a good night. Be safe. Be safe out there. Melissa Johnson wants a Guilty of Crime hoodie. I want one too, Melissa. I want one too. Well, thank you. I any feedback is appreciated. R Whip, yeah, do me a favor, email me. You guys go have a good night. I'll let my mods get out of here. I'm gonna go pick up my daughter. My daughter. I'm from California, but I just got an accent. Go pick up my daughter and see what we're gonna do for dinner. All right. Love you guys. Gemini wants a happy pill. You guys have a wonderful night. Love you all. And I will see you on the next one. Don't forget, you guys can still hit that like button on the way out and throw good vibes for the computer gods that we get a new computer. Love ya. See you soon. Bye, y'all.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?